Welcome back to the channel. This game features Nigel's game in the Petrosian Memorial, played in Russia in October 1984. His opponent was Vitaly Tseshkovsky, a Russian grandmaster and also a very good trainer. Um, as I say, it was played in October 1984, and the game started as a Raw Lopez. The closed variation. And this is all still theory. Black hits the bishop and gets a nice square on c4, and then hits in the centre. And this is the first non-book move. Nigel increases his presence in the centre and grabbing a semi-open c-file. And the development continues as normal. The knight goes to d7 with a view of going to f8 to defend the h7 pawn when e5 comes. And rooks are traded. And white gets a nice outpost on e4 for his knight. And black allows him to trade the dark square bishop. And this puts more pressure on the h-pawn, which is well defended by Nigel with the queen. And this trade does leave white a pawn up, but it looks like the pawn could be recaptured at some points, but as we'll see, it becomes problematic for black. Obviously threatening checkmate on g2. And here's probably the first mistake of the game. Not seized upon by white, but this would have allowed bishop to f5. And after the queen trade, white's in a much better position. He's still got the passed b pawn and the bishop pair, and would have had winning chances in the endgame. But white didn't play that. He played queen to c1, offering the queen trade, which black refused, trying to keep the queens on the board. And this move tries to fix the pawn structure of black on the queen side. And here's another mistake from Nigel. I think rook to e2, it does allow white's next move, which is a strong move, hitting the queen. And after bishop d4, he's in a very good position. He's managed to cement the b pawn, which is now going to become a problem, because he's now defended by the bishop and can push at some point. And I think this is probably the final mistake Nigel made. I think queen to e4 is the better move. And after something like this, where he gives up the exchange, he's still worse, but it's still holdable. He's managed to eliminate the dangerous b pawn. But the move play rook to e4 causes him all sorts of hassle, because now the b pawn can promote or push to be promoted. And after rook to e8, which is kind of the only move to stop the pawn, then queen to c7 defends the pawn and obviously threatens b8 queen, and also puts pressure on the f7 pawn as well. Again, another slight inaccuracy, probably, but the game's kind of lost now. Trying to defend the B8 square more, but allows queen to C8, putting pressure on the rook. And there's two ways, well, two or three ways you can defend it, but none of them are satisfactory in the way they work. And White's now just totally winning. Nigel opts for queen to E4, which unfortunately doesn't work due to the next move, which is bishop to B5, D5, hitting the queen. Obviously, the queen can't take the bishop because of queen takes rook bait. The queen would have to go to either E7, and then White can just pick up the bishop on F3 and still have a really strong attack, and would be a piece up completely, piece and a pawn up, and in a completely winning position. In this position, Nigel resigned. So a disappointing game in a tournament where Nigel had quite a lot of draws in a long tournament. There was only 2 or 3 decisive games that he played in this tournament. So so a disappointing game from him, but he got completely outplayed in the middle game. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video, and until next time, bye for now. Cheers.